Living Seed Media brings to you God's Word, which is His comprehensive equipment for changing lives. May the Lord impact your heart as you encounter His Word. For further inquiry or counsel, contact Peace House, P.O. Box 971, Boko, Benue State, Nigeria. Telephone numbers 0703 036369, 0703 7681198. Email address lsmedia@livingseed.org, or visit our website at www.livingseed.org. Let us sit back and listen as the servant of God brings forth the word of life.
You are my battle axe. I know a group of people who are called cultists, and the axe is one of their weapons. And their own axe, because they don't have time, it has to be such that when they strike once, they get their result. And we are told by last night that there was already a declaration, you are my battle axe, as if God has already made his choice. And that choice is you and I. There are also some axes that are used for other menial jobs. If you are going to cut a vegetable, you don't necessarily need an axe that is sharp, because even with bare hands you can break it. When we were in the pre-study yesterday, we were told that even though being a Christian now is difficult, it is going to be more difficult later on to be a Christian. Because every day there are new inventions of evils that are coming our way. Those activities that were shameful to be mentioned in the public, they are becoming like the normal life now. In those days, if you hear of lesbianism, it was unthinkable. But now people are involved and they are advertising it and making recruitments. I was told that one church refused to join man and man, and then the man took them to court. And I thought that the court would just dismiss the case. No, they were giving them good hearing. And they said, human rights. You are free to do what you like with your life. So, for those of us who are old, we may soon die. We may not see the terrible situation that is yet coming. While those of you who are young, when you come to stage, it will be your time. If your axe is blunt, how will you survive? If in our time we need axes that are sharp, in your own time you will need axes that are much more sharp. If in our time somebody may not be too serious with his personal quiet time, but make it, in your own time it is going to be demanded much more than you get more serious with your personal walk with God. and activities are increasing. Time is becoming more precious now. As I was thinking about it, yes, an axe. But if that axe, something is wrong with it, then there's going to be a problem. I now came across, let's begin from here. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Ecclesiastes is after Proverbs. Chapter 10 and verse 10. If the iron be blunt, and he do not wait the age, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. If the iron be blunt, that is, if the axe is blunt, and God said, well, let me just manage it, it is going to cause God more trouble to work with a blunt axe. It will take more strength. I don't know if you have ever tried using a blunt knife or anything to cut something. You will need extra strength to do it. When I look at the theme of our meeting and I saw this verse, it troubled me. And I concluded that this meeting is for whetting the axe. That is, making it sharper. That is all that this meeting is talking about. No matter the state you came, the state of your life that you came, no matter how blunt, I hear God saying, it takes its wisdom to whet the axe. Because if it is not done, the job will not be done. You will sweat so much and achieve very little. As we are singing this song, I kept hearing nothing in between, nothing in between, nothing in between. And all of those things that you are mentioning there, they are the issues that makes the axe blunt. Any of those things mentioned there, if they are found in any of our lives, they make the axe blunt. And if it is blunt, yesterday night we were hearing that God say, I will. That, but even God will find it difficult to work with a blunt axe. And so I thought that we will look at some one life here and another group of lives. How, when this understanding came to them, they conducted their lives the way God will use them and He will enjoy using them. I'd like us to start with another youth called Joseph. From Genesis 37. There was another man that was going to be a battle axe for God. And we are looking at him as mirror. When you look at a mirror, you correct yourself. He is a human being like any of us. He's not a spirit. We know his name, we know it, his parents. He's not a strange figure. But how did he preserve his own axe for God to be able to use without causing God blister palms? Verse 1. Genesis 37 verse 1. And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil reports. Now this is somebody 17 years old. He already knew evil from good. And already there was hatred for evil in his own heart. Joseph will not see evil going on and he will keep quiet. Some of you have roommates on campus, and you see evil going on in your corner, in your room, and you keep quiet. You remove your eyes as if you don't see. That is how to finish your acts before you come on stage. If at your age you see evil going on and you keep quiet as if there's no problem, how are you going to be used in the hand of God? You're already blunt. Joseph saw evil going on. Even among his blood brethren, and he will not keep quiet. The Bible said he brought their evil report to their own father. And as God saw in the heart of this young man that even at this age he hates evil, God started enlarging his heart. God started sharpening him. God started arranging a big future for him. Whatever will happen to you tomorrow depends on the state of your life today. It is not until you come on stage before you start preparing your life. It is now. When the Lord saw that this young man was a correct man, he started showing him things that even his parents didn't know. Of course, as he was bringing their reports, hatred came in, isn't it? If you are going to be a battle axe for God, you are going to multiply enemies. You know, an axe is not a friendly weapon. How can you strike the enemy and he will be clapping hands for you? If God is going to achieve what he wants to achieve with this meeting, when we get back to campuses, there will be noise. They said this roommate went somewhere and came back and everything has changed. His brothers hated him. And as that hatred was coming, verse 5 now said, God again came to Joseph and gave him a dream. And in that dream, all his brothers, represented by sheaves, bundles of guinea corn or whatever, they were falling down. And only his own was standing. I don't know how Satan understands dreams so much. As soon as the young man came and told the dream, they understood it. They said, do you mean that we, because he is the last born, do you mean that we the elders, we will all come and bow down and be worshiping you? So they hated him the more. This meeting is not a friendly meeting. Especially if your axe will become sharp. You are not going to find it friendly. Your manner of life on campus will change. Your manner of life in your place of work will change. Jesus' light inside of you will increase. And you know, people don't like light to beam on them. They will react. But I saw that the reaction of his brothers didn't reduce his light. We are praying that the more reaction you face, the greater light you will shine. If you are not afraid, you will overcome in the name of Jesus Christ. Then God came again. And God is going to be coming to us, as we have heard many, many times in this meeting before we go. Another dream came in verse 8. This time, it was all the stars plus the moon and the sun. And the young man told the dream again. The moon and the sun were representing his mother and father. And his brother was saying, okay, I thought it was just within us. Now you mean even your mother who bore you and your father who bore you, they will also bow? And then hatred increased. What was the devil's problem? Before this axe will start striking us, let's make it blunt. That is why for some of us, sin was introduced into your life very early. A friend of yours just led you into something and you have become a captive. You say, let me just try it and see. And as you tried it, coming out is becoming very, very difficult for you. Satan knows the danger of a sharp axe, because God said he will use it. So, and the brethren say to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. You know, all those mentions of hatred, Satan meant to cause fear inside this boy and to make him abandon his call. But I saw that each time this thing came, the young man was not afraid. So the Bible says he dreamt yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I had dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. They came and bowed down. But you know, nobody will bow down to a blunt axe. It is the degree of your sharpness that will make the moon and the star and the moon and the sun and the 11 stars to come and bow. You will notice that the fear that his brothers wanted to cast on him didn't overcome him. The fear that even his parents wanted to cast on him didn't overcome him. And the brothers got more angry and they said, okay, let us kill him. They took counsel together and said, let's finish this axe that is in the making. And this particular day, the young man went out to give them food. They were already in the bush grazing. The young man was doing a good work. He went to serve his brothers. And they had already taken counsel before he arrived. In fact, when they saw him come, they said, here comes the dreamer. Let us finish him. I wish God will give you a new name from this conference. That when you are coming, say, look at that axe coming. That your Christianity will no longer be the kind of hidden type. Everywhere where God has placed you, you will be known. There comes a dreamer. And they knew the dream. Said that man, he said he will rule over us. There are some of you that it's difficult to know whether you are a Christian or not. And you console yourself, say, well, Christianity is a matter of the heart. That thing that is in the heart must come out. You see, God works inside. We are to work it out. If the Lord has done the work of righteousness inside of your heart, you are to live the righteous life outside. If the Lord has given you victory over sin inside your heart, you are to show that victory outside. You don't just stay and say, well, it's a matter of the heart. If it is just a matter of the heart, Joseph didn't need to tell the dream. He would have just kept it in the heart. But you know, he told it and told it and told it. And everybody knew, to the point that they named him the dreamer. See the dreamer coming. What are you known for? So they agreed together they will kill him. But God raised somebody among them, one of their brothers. He said, let us not kill him. Let's just carry him and throw him into a dry well. So that we don't shed blood. At every point, God is going to raise hell for you. Yes. You won't die before God finishes with you. Yes, enemies will multiply, but they won't kill you. So they tied him, threw him inside the well, hoping that maybe he will die later. Only for another group of people to be passing that way, and I don't know what made them to go and look inside the well. And they say, oh, there's a human being here. They brought him out. And they went and sold him as a slave in the house of one big man. In that house, there was again another, as if the devil said, okay, I failed in your family, but I'm going to try it somewhere else. In your family, it was just a matter of hatred. But in another place, I'm going to use another strategy. I will make sin cheap for you. You know, some of you don't drink because you cannot buy beer. But when they offer you free, you take it. They say you will not in this place pay for sin. Sin will come free to you. Sometimes you are befriending a girl it will cost you the boy, isn't it? You have to buy handset for her. You have to buy shoe for her. You have to buy many, many things for her. This one was going to be the reverse. The wife of a governor was going to be his girlfriend. You understand? He has finished level 1, he's on level 2. All of these are trying to blunt the axe. Satan doesn't go on leave. Especially for those who are young, Satan is jealous. For people who are old, Satan is saying, even if they want to commit sin, how far will they go? They will soon be tired. But for those who are young, he is jealous. You know, this one will serve me for long. And he will make exploits. You see, on our campuses, when you want to do a riot, is it not the young men? They will just carry songs and placards and start and throw the whole institution into confusion. Before you know it, fire is coming there, fire is coming there, fire is coming everywhere. Old men, whether they are Christians or not, they are too tired for that. This your strength. Satan is desiring it. And it is the same strength Jesus is also looking for. The Bible says young men will do exploit, but old men will only be dreaming dreams. So in this house, there's another wave of temptation, chapter 39 now. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither.